Kyle Austin, Mike Griffith here at Spartan Stadium, kind of picking up the pieces a little bit after Ohio State's loss. Playing Maryland this week, but a lot of talk, I think, today about kind of moving on from Ohio State. What did you learn from Mark
Yeah,
D'Antonio?
well, Mark D'Antonio not ready to concede the Big Ten yet. I know mathematically they're still alive. They would have to win their last three games and hope that Ohio State would lose two of their last three games. Of course, Kyle, they play at Minnesota this week, but then home games with Indiana and Michigan.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem very likely.
Mm-hmm.
Coach D'Antonio is saying that he wants the Spartans in a New Year's Day bowl game, one of those college football playoff bowls. That's not the Final Four.
Right.
There's 6 bowls there. So, the 2 playoff games this year are the Rose and the Sugar. And then the other college football playoff bowls are the Orange, the Peach, the Fiesta, and the Cotton Bowl. Right now, Michigan State, if they were to win out, strong probability, kind of here in the Cotton Bowl. I mean, things can change. Other teams can shift in or out. But right now, that's where my money would be at. I heard Tom Izzo today start his press conference. He talked about as much football as he did basketball when people were asking him about what he thought about the Spartans, Kyle.
Yeah, they start the season Friday in Navy, and yet, Tom's still in football mode, as I think a lot of fans are. I think he can relate to that. But yeah, they had 2 exhibition games. They played them both last week. Won both of them by, I think, 40 points or more. Really weren't challenged at all. So I'm not sure we really know quite as much about this team as we thought we would. There's only so much you can know when he says they're getting left open for shots. They're hitting them. But I think we'll learn a lot. Navy, he talks about bringing back all 5 starters. They weren't very good last year, but he seems to think that they'll give them a little bit of a challenge. I guess the big news we learned today, we talked a little about Bryn Forbes. He's wearing a brace on his left wrist, which is his non-shooting wrist. And he played through it on Friday. You were there.
Didn't shoot as well as
Didn't
usual.
shoot as well, but Tom came out today and he says he's worried that teams are going to know about it. It's going to be tougher competition. He thinks they might try to take it away from him, and he thinks they might be down another shooting guard, which is not a thing that they can really afford to be right now. Down another shooting guard.
No, you wouldn't think so. Alvin Ellis has played all right, but Coach Izzo said after the last exhibition he thinks he's still playing a little casual. Mm-hmm. Ellis points out that the rules have changed a little bit. You can't even put one hand on the guy now, and when you're playing at shooting guard, oftentimes that's the best perimeter player. So Alvin Ellis has his hands full trying to live up to Gary Harris and make Tom Izzo happy with some pretty tough rules in front of him.
Mm-hmm. And both these programs are heading out to Maryland this weekend with Navy and at Maryland, and maybe not quite as marquee as it would have been if they had won Saturday, but you're still looking at a season opener for basketball. Football is going to be a night game. They're doing a blackout, so it should still be an exciting weekend for this.
Well, we're going to find out, as Mark D'Antonio said, we're going to find out about the character and the competitive nature of his football team. These next 3 games are games where we think Michigan State should win if they put their best on the field. I think the case against Ohio State seemed to have some talent advantages. Like I said, D'Antonio not ready to concede anything, still upset about the holding call that negated what would have been a 28-14 lead, and he's right. Who knows what would have happened, but it'll be interesting to see what lies ahead for the football team in terms of personnel decisions and moves. I get the feeling we might see some different players on the field, Kyle.
All right, well, that's it for today. We'll check in from you this weekend from Maryland. Thanks.